opposite of what he was hired to do in so many people's perception, which is he kept Clay Helton on as the USC head coach.
Unsuccessful football coach.
Put out a slightly better written statement than last year's Lynn Swann statement. Slightly better.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Very comparable.
Because you can choose your own adventure. We got 3 statements.
Very comparable.
We got a Lynn Swann statement.
Guys,
we got a Mike Bohn statement. We got a Clay Helton statement. We got a lot of statements.
It's exactly the same BS that Pat Hayden said when they kept Lane Kiffin. Same BS that Pat Hayden said when they hired Sark. Same BS that Pat Hayden said when he hired Helton.
How about this?
Same BS that Lynn Swann said last year when he kept Helton.
Okay.
And now, automatically, all you have to do is become some kind of administrator at USC, and you transform into a bureaucrat, like the end of Animal Farm. You become a man-pig hybrid, and Mike Bohn has transformed into his predecessors, who were not professional ADs. But even a professional AD is no match for the USC swamp, Matt. We have all statements.
Would you like? Let's do it this way. I'm going to read you a line, and you guess.
I get to choose.
Is it Swanee?
Lynn Swann about keeping Clay Helton.
Mike Bohn?
Mike Bohn about keeping Clay Helton.
Or is it Clay Helton about them keeping Clay Helton? Because Clay Helton has already dropped his own statement today.
Do you have anything from Pat Hayden's press conference when he kept Clay Helton?
I do not.
Okay, that's okay.
Because all I got are written statements.
That's okay.
Vic, you can weigh in on this, too, if you want. You want to play the game? Let's play a game.
Let's play.
I know it's not between noon and 3.
I know.
It's not normally game time.
Well, you know what?
But let's play a game.
I have an idea. Let's round up 12 random people, and after we play the game off the air, we'll give somebody our Home for the Holidays package.
Here we go. Here's your first one.
You like that, Vic?
Bohn, Helton, or Swann?
Okay, B, H, or S. And we are going to play Helton, no Helton with you listeners here, maybe even before the hour is over, because the one thing I have gauged is that people are pissed. And I think they have a right to be pissed. But, USC is sending a very clear message that they want to pay their coach $3 million a year.
You can't defeat the swamp.
And
that's their message. You are no match for the swamp.
You can hire whoever you want.
It will swallow you whole.
At president, but all those trustees are there, and you can hire whoever you want in the athletic department. But all those guys that told Pat Hayden what to do, and all those guys that told Lynn Swann what to do, and Mike Garrett what to do, they're all still there. So, sorry if you thought things were going to change and USC was going to compete nationally on the football field. Well, let's play.
Swann, Helton, Bohn.
Let's play.
I'm a strong advocate of consistency within a program, sticking by a leader, supporting them, and helping them and their team improve. That is
Swann. Yeah!
1 for 1. 1
Sorry,
for 1.
Vic.
I was going to join you in the Lynn Swann there.
Sorry, Vic.
It's okay.
We forgot you were there for a second.
We're in agreement on Swann. That's Swanee.
All right.
His commitment to our student athletes and to leading with integrity is vital to restoring our championship
Bohn,
program.
Bohn.
Bohn, 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 Bohn.
Okay.
The key word's always integrity with Bohn.
It's the thuggish, ruggish Bohn.
Well, they want integrity. They got integrity.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait, what, is there integrity in not developing players?
Is there integrity in being, number 75, ranking in recruiting? Is there integrity there?
Here we go. You ready? I believe in our team and in our fan base. I know we will all come together to succeed. I am excited about the future of our team and our university.
Coach Helton.
Got to be the Helt.
Okay.
That's Clay right there.
That's right.
That's the essence of Helton.
Every day I thank God for myself,
Okay.
my wife, Miss Angela.
Here we go.
Mike Bohn.
I thank God for 3 things right now: my wife, my kids, and Mike Bohn. Every night when I go to
Here
bed.
we go. Coach Helton and I will meet extensively each week to evaluate our program from top to bottom.
Bohn, 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 Bohn.
Got to go with the Bohn.
Well, I feel better about SC now.
Hold on.
There's more.
Oh!
Swanee.
Yeah. Curveball.
Gosh, those weekly meetings were kicking ass, too, until Swann had to resign.
But
Curveball.
if we may, Coach Helton and I will work together to take a hard look at all aspects of the football enterprise, and we'll make the tough decisions necessary to compete at a championship level.
Bohn, 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 Bohn. See you at the crossroads.
I think the word enterprise gave it away.
It did, but it's the exact same statement with the word enterprise
I
swapped
feel
in
better
for program.
I feel better if I'm an SC fan because it's Swan meeting with Coach once a week is one thing, but the Bonarino looking real hard, just like he looked at like the same way you looked at your football program and decided to keep Clay Helton, old Bonarino. Is that how hard you're gonna look, Bonarino? The Bonarino buried his bone in the wrong yard, Matt, and I believe you talked extensively and poetically on the Twitter machine about the soil.
Hot soil. Loamy, rich, dark soil, and how easy it is to insert your shovel. Clay, once you put your shovel in, you're like, son of a bitch. Wish I had some of that sweet soil, not this clay crap. We will improve and get better in all areas. We agree that changes need to be made, and they will.
Swanee.
Helton.
Whoops. That's Swanee, Vic.
That's Swanee.
Wear it, Vic.
Wow.
That is Swanee.
Changes were made, Swan. You got fired, but old cockroach Helton is still posted out after nuclear war.
This one's going to be tough.
I bury those cockroaches.
This one's going to be tough because it's not something you ever hear this person say. Our future is bright. We have a young team on the verge of doing something special.
Helton.
Gotta be Helton.
Helton loves young team. Loves young team. And you're going to hear young team after they get their Puzzo knocked inside out against Alabama on September 5th.
After you lose to BYU, get humiliated at home against Oregon, do you want to make this statement to an angry as hell fan base?
We're really close against Notre Dame, though, Matt. And, that Washington game, man, could have gone either way there.
We have seen what this team can do. Having the season we have had.
Lead the country in penalties? That's what they can do.
Despite going through adversity and injuries, we are headed to a great bowl. And we plan to finish the season strong.
Helton.
And we are putting the final touches on an outstanding recruiting class.
It's the Claymeister.
Clearly, he doesn't have an editor. Hey, don't talk about this past season. Don't talk about the season in which you were humiliated by Oregon at home.
It's
lost to BYU.
But this is their new standard. Like, if you're a USC football fan, and whether you believe all the rumors that are out there, and I have a tendency to, and now we're talking seriously for a moment.
Permission to get serious?
Permission to be for real. The Bonarino didn't want this. I don't want this. He was like Wyatt Earp when Ike Clanton grabbed his gun at the OK Corral. I don't want this. But now Doc Holliday's got it. I don't want this.
And the whole thing's going to
He didn't want it. But he obviously couldn't hire who he wanted to hire because, look, if they were going to keep Clay Helton and if Clay Helton was such a man of integrity and they're putting the finishing touches on a great recruiting class and an outstanding bowl and all this stuff, then why couldn't you make this statement on Sunday? Why didn't this statement come out on Sunday? Did it take 4 days?
No, you were trying to sign Urban Meyer.
Or Bob Stoops, or Matt Campbell, or Matt Rule, but I don't even think they got that far. I think it was Urban Meyer. I think that's who the Bonarino wanted. I think that's why he was hired. And then suddenly this word integrity started getting thrown around and probably pissed off Urban Meyer, probably upped his price. But whatever it is, if you think USC can take the hit, if you think the West Coast can take the hit of keeping Clay Helton, then you are a more optimistic person than I am. And the one thing this proves to me is you can get a new guy to be the face of it and a new woman to be the face of the whole thing, and it's the same old bureaucracy, it's the same old swamp, and the same people are still in control because the people that have convinced whoever to keep Clay Helton are the same people that told Pat Hayden to do it. They're the same people that get to run their special little country club because they have a head coach that they can control. Guess what Urban Meyer does if you hire him?
Takes control.
Yeah. What does
All of it.
Bob Stoops do?
They
Takes
run
control.
the program.
Right.
They restore it to greatness. They compete with Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State damn near immediately. Your recruiting class goes from being sandwiched between Troy and Louisiana, not State, the Raging Cajuns, and vaults itself into the top 15. And your only top 100 recruits are no longer wide receivers. By the way, you make the statement today, and as Scott Wolf told us on Monday, about Graham Harrell's future, and I know you don't like the air raid, and a lot of people don't like the air raid, but they're trying to hang their hat on the offense and say, hey, Slovis developed.
What else
the
you got?
offense is great.
What else you got?
That guy's going to leave. He's now going to leave and go to Texas to work for Tom Herman because he knows that is considerably more stable, and they have the deepest pockets of any team in all of college football, at least, and also really mostly because Scott Wolf told us he's the heck, and he's going to go back to Austin. So now everything that you supposedly have hung your hat on, and I can promise you in the next, and you know this obviously better than I do, Clancy's going to be thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
And probably special teams as well.
John Baxter.
Baxter's going to be thrown out, and they're going to say, see, we got it right with Harrell, and now we're going to get it right with the DC and the special teams coach. Everybody stay calm. Everything's in place. We got our quarterback. Nothing to be worried about.
And that's what brings me to these talking points. All that stuff is happening over again. The thing about the interesting statements that you read, Matt, all three of them that we all guessed about, they're all written by the same guy.
Right.
That's the reason.
Why they sound the same.
That's the reason they all read.
And that guy's been there for 60 years.
Right. And that guy shouldn't have the amount of power that he has. The other guy, whose kid is on the staff, should not have as much power as he has. And that is the case at USC. And they can do every PR blitz they want to in the offseason and sell their offense with or without Graham Harrell and use whatever coach speak they have to get through the awkwardness of telling JT Daniels he's got to transfer if he doesn't want to be in a quarterback competition. All that stuff. But here are the things you can count on in the next few months of USC football. Fan and alumni apathy. This ain't Tennessee where you try to hire Schiano and they rise up like the villagers in Austria with pitchforks and torches to kill Dr. Frankenstein, right? What do? People just going to go to the beach. People are just going to go to Mammoth, right? People are going to do something else.
Instead of putting 75,000 in the Coliseum, they're putting 55,000.
Exactly.
And that's going to drop to 52,000.
We did better when I was playing, when Paul Hackett was about to be fired.
Last year.
Oh, yeah. We did way better. We put 60 in there and be like, damn, where is everybody? There'd be 70,000 in there. Where is everybody? It's worse than it ever has been. So you can count on fan apathy. A pestilence of apathy.
Yeah, but that place needs to be redone. They need to upgrade it like yesterday. So it's understandable why there weren't as many people there this year.
It was a brand new, bikini-clad, Botoxed,
and that's uncomfortable.
MILF.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure the people that paid, what was it, $1 million for the suites? The whatever it was, 12 or 13
They
suites?
got to see Oregon put a 50 burger right on SC.
I'm sure they're fine with all of this. The Clay coming back is exactly what they had hoped for.
So the one thing you can count on is real apathy. There's not one fan that I know that's happy. Not one. And I'm no fan. And I don't even care if Clay Helton's a coach. It's the people that tell the athletic director and Clay Helton what to do that drive me crazy. The ones that have survived. They've caused all of these problems. They've been an integral part of the problems dating back to Carroll in the Reggie Bush era, to Kiffin, to Sark, to the embarrassment of keeping Clay Helton and not Ed Ogeron, and they're still calling the shots at SC. That's what drives me crazy. Not Clay Helton. He's a nice guy. He just makes too many excuses. And speaking of that, that's coming still. You'll have your injuries and youth excuses like he did in today's interview.
It's already in the statement.
Yeah.
As young as here it is. We have a young team on the verge of doing something special. And in the very next sentence, we've seen what this team can do having the season we have had despite going through adversity and injuries. Because nobody else goes through adversity. They didn't have Tua for the Iron Bowl, and people are trying to run Nick Saban out of Alabama. Do you think he's saying, oh, I get a free pass because of injuries? No, he's saying, I can't believe we had 12 men on the field. What the hell?
Matt, you brought up Texas. They're going to lose Harrell to either Texas or the UNLV head coaching job. which he's going to interview
gone.
for. The 2020 recruiting class is taking it in the urethra. Sorry, Vic. I know that's hard to hear.
Thank you.
Those weren't two teams I made up. Right now, Rivals has them sandwiched between Troy and the Raging Cajuns.
Troy State Trojans are an up-and-coming Trojans.
yeah.
Their bowl game's going to be against Baylor or Michigan.
That's a great bowl game.
And it's going to be a buzzsaw that USC runs into right in the crotch.
That is a great bowl game.
Then Alabama in the 2020 opener. So they'll probably be destroyed in their next two games.
And look, if it's James Franklin or Matt Campbell or Matt Rule who's the head coach and they get destroyed, what do you say? Look, they had a crappy recruiting class. The guy's got to rebuild. I'm giving him a free pass. Clay Helton loses that game like he did 3 years ago or 4 years ago, however long ago it was. Who was it? Sark that lost it?
It was Clay.
It was Clay?
It was Clay with Max Brown.
With Max Brown and Sam Darnold. That's right. That was the Max Brown, Sam Darnold, whatever. That's not the conversation. The conversation is fire him yesterday. USC's got to compete on a national level, not for the Pac-12 South and the right to get to some championship game that nobody cares about because USC's not relevant.
Bureaucracy wins again, Matt, and the bad guys get to keep their country club.
You can elect a new guy every 4 years and think everything's going to change, but it never does because there's lifers in the district. And
they really
will
are.
Not allow a damn thing to change, no matter if it's an elephant or a freaking donkey.
The other thing is, other programs change all the time, and that's why they don't have these problems, even blue-blooded programs. You know, Ohio State told Urban Meyer, hey, you're going to take a suspension, and then we're going to hire this guy Ryan Day, and you're going to have to find a way to step down because we're moving on because we're done, and you got to figure it out. I mean, that's a blue-blood program, and they were okay to say goodbye to Urban Meyer. Think of the courage that takes. And USC doesn't have the balls to say goodbye to Clay Helton because of the people in place. That it means if Clay Helton's gone, then they lose their control of what they dreamt their whole life to have, which is power in a great football program like USC.
Congratulations.
And that's what these chicken neck bureaucrats have. That's what they have.
Congratulations on keeping a guy who most expected was going to be fired, and with openings at Missouri, Ole Miss. Where else we got? Likely Vandy. Arkansas. His name was not being mentioned at all. But UNLV.
Yeah, they wanted it.
Hey, we better keep this guy.
When Memphis comes open.
That's what happened last time. Is
Yeah.
we heard that Memphis was interested in Clay Helton. There are openings. Oh, Miami's going to be open. Florida State is open. Is Clay Helton tied to any of Okay, if you're USC and your guy is not being tied to any of those programs, guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Pretty good point, man.
You got the wrong, and he's got a twang, and he can go to Arkansas where nobody wants that freaking job because it's the worst job in the SEC.
How about saving money? It's like, it's going to cost us this much money to fire Clay Helton. How much money did it cost you to hire Mike Bohn to do something that every douchebag in the athletic department would have done, which is Clay Helton? You hired Mike Bohn to be a man of integrity and put his foot down.
And to sign Urban Meyer.
And make a decision, whether it's Urban Meyer or anything. But the looming drama now, Matt, in the offseason is going to be what's going to happen with Graham Harrell, which you've mentioned, and how they're going to cut JT Daniels loose, as opposed to who is Bob Stoops or Matt Rule or James Franklin recruiting, and who's he signing, and who's he making up ground on, after getting the job late in the recruiting class. That's not your looming drama.
Linebacker? Can you believe he got that defensive back? That guy was 50-50. No,
James, it's going to be JT Daniels, worried about getting his Trojan tattoo removed at Dr. Tadoff.
I heard Troy State.
And he can go there perfect.
I heard Troy State.
Well, that'll up their class.
Exactly right. They're going to jump USC because they'll get JT to come in.
It's not going to be James Franklin. It's going to be JT Daniels and how to cut him loose and where Graham Harrell from North Texas. Where's he going to go? Congratulations, everybody.
And by the way,
this is the business you've chosen.
I would assume Clay is now going to regain the reins and take control of the offense once again after it being the only thing that was celebrated on this team and the development of Keaton Slovis. And again, if I'm a USC fan, is that what I want? Hell no. Absolutely not. That's what I want.
That's all right, Matt. He's going to work weekly with Bohn.
It is bat-ass crazy.
It really is.
Bat-ass crazy.
And we've been doing this a long time. We've been doing this
It's the
pre-sanctions.
seeds of a beautiful friendship. Bohn and Helton.